exactly like him.
Does?
He's got another elf friend who's a little different sometimes, and then they have the spirit dancer, and that's it's a deck. It's actually not bad. It's just kind of miserable to play.
Yeah, it's got a bad rap, I think. It's just kind of this all-in deck, but if it's the right deck to play for a tournament, it's the right deck to play for a tournament.
I thought it was very good at the Pro Tour, actually.
It had a really nice win percentage at the Pro Tour,
too. Win percentage. There's no Lilianas out there. And one question will matter is, what does Josh have in his sideboard? There's some, like, if he has cards like Back to Nature in his sideboard, he can't lose if he draws the card.
Yeah.
That said, he probably can't win as soon as there's like 5 enchantments on a creature. He's going to have to combo quickly is the problem. And that's not something Malirapod is want to do, but it can do, as we saw with Brian's last match.
Yeah. We see a Bird's Paradise off of a Misty Rainforest searching out a forest here. So, again, we will have exactly what Josh is playing here, and once we get that deck list up here in just a moment, it's very, very similar to what Brian was playing last round, as well as Ben Friedman, who we were going to cut to. And there's a Glade Cover Scout there for Vikas. So he's got what he's looking for. He's got his 1-mana hexproof creature. Now it's time to put a bunch of crap on that thing. And it looks like Josh might start off with a Thoughtseize. It looks like he's thinking about it because he does have a Thoughtseize in his hand.
Yeah, so he's going to start with Thoughtseize, see what he has to play around, just what cards are going to be on the Boggle. It's some lands, a cage, Armor, Coronet, and Spider Umbra. So he has 2 lands, he has a cage so that Josh's cords and pods won't work, and he has enough auras to make the creature pretty much unstoppable. He has the draw. It's turn 2 Ethereal Armor, Spider Umbra, turn 3 Coronet.
I guess the question here is, he does have the appropriate draw. Like, I think this is a very good draw, given the matchup.
Very good.
I think the big question here is, one, what is Josh going to take with Thoughtseize? Because there's a bevy of options here. And 2, he needs a way for a creature to have trample or to be able to get through, because Malirapod does a great job at just chump blocking for a while.
Yeah, so I think what you're looking at is you either take the cage or the Coronet, I think are your 2 real options here. I believe... Well, it depends. I don't know whether Coronet or Armor is harder for Pod to beat.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that there's an answer to that. You don't take Spider Umbra. It depends. If you don't have any answers in your hand and you need to search for one, then you're going to have to take the cage. But I think you'd like to take an Aura here.
I think what Josh takes here will be very indicative of what he actually does have in his hand, because if he takes cage, for example, it's like, okay, I need to go potting and I need to go courting, so that's what he's going to take is the cage. He's going to play a Noble Hierarch. Does he have a land? He does not.
Doesn't have the land.
Okay. Not that big of a deal, though, because Boggles isn't going to get the mana accelerants off the board.
I mean, the other thing that Pod can do is it can get a Spellskite in play really quickly.
Yeah.
And that's almost impossible for Boggles to beat. But Josh didn't have the turn 2 Spellskite, and the Boggle is growing. It's now already a 5/5, or 4/4. Yeah, 4/4 Totem Armor, first strike.
Yeah, you've got the Spider Armor that's going to provide +1/+1. Then Ethereal Armor is going to check, and it sees 2 enchantments. So that's going to be a 4/4 that's attacking. It's only going to get bigger next turn.
Yeah, I always like to describe the Boggle creatures. Like right now, we have a 4/4 Hexproof first strike reach Totem Armor.
I like throwing Totem Armor there.
Totem Armor.
It just sounds completely ridiculous.
Oh yeah, the deck's completely ridiculous.
This is true. This is true. I remember when this deck broke out on the scene on Magic Online, Mark Lalagu, who did just win a Grand Prix in Mexico recently, he's kind of the person I identify with this deck as someone who was like, okay, this strategy is good and I want to perfect it. And he's very, very skilled at playing this deck.
I'm a skilled Boggles pilot.
Hey, it's harder. It's harder than one thinks.
You put all the auras on one guy. Don't divide them between 2. Keep them on 1.
You see an Overgrown Tomb here for McClain. Taking 2 here is not ideal. And if Sundrani does actually draw a card like a Rancor, things get really bad.
I mean, you can't beat a Rancor's gonna be really good. I think Josh has to play Pod and Pod something.
And he just hardcasts Pod and passes the turn back. If he plays Pod and activates it, he takes 4 damage.
He takes 4 and he loses one of his mana sources. He actually can't do that. You're absolutely right. Yeah, the Boggle doesn't have trample yet. Okay, so Daybreak Coronet gives it +3/+3, I believe, in Vigilance.
Yep.
And it pumps with Ethereal Armor. So we now have an 8/8 Hexproof first strike Vigilance Lifelink Reach Totem Armor.
Very good. Don't forget Totem Armor.
And I'm making it the last one too, because I know that's
smart.
good.
Very smart.
I like that.
McClain goes down to 3. What does he do to get out of this?
Kitchen Finks will work right now.
Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna have to chump for a while, and then you just have to stay alive long enough to build up the combo. And with the Pod and these pieces, Josh is not very far off.
As far as cards that Vikas can draw to actually just end the game on the spot, Rancor is obviously one of them. He also has 3 copies of Spirit Mantle in his deck.
Yep, that'll also do it.
And Spirit Mantle, of course, is the enchantment that says creatures. It has protection. Creatures have
1/1 and protection from creatures for 2.
yeah.
Boggle's trying to be as interactive as possible.
Hey, when I
like
say,
that. Okay, no, wait. I respect that part of the Boggles.
Yeah, okay.
Who wants to interact with your opponent?
Hey, I say whatever gets the job done. It's not a, Magic isn't a game of showing how smart you are. It's, hey, I got to give you 20 points of damage one way or the other.
Well, Josh has drawn a Spellskite. That's a little late.
It's
All
interesting.
yours.
I mean, you did mention Kitchen Finks, and Spellskite can turn into Kitchen Finks.
And it might have to. So if Spellskite turns into Kitchen Finks, Josh needs to then, on his next turn, turn one of his guys into Seer and one of his guys, and somehow get a Seer and a Malira.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
a third. But the problem is when Kitchen Finks blocks, it no longer sets up the combo. He
That's
needs to
true.
find a new Kitchen Finks.
Maybe he blocks with the Mana Accelerant then.
And he might do that. Like, he's got a lot of turns until there's a Rancor.
Yeah, and as we mentioned, if at any point Rancor or Spirit Mantle come rolling off the top, it's lights out.
Well, Spirit Mantle no longer does the trick because he's gonna if he plays Spellskite
Okay.
or Rancor.
Yep.
So that's actually great. That's gonna protect him from the outs that Vikas could have. I'm gonna go on a limb here. I'm gonna say that Josh is gonna win this game from this board stage.
If he doesn't, will you do a cartwheel?
I can't do a cartwheel.
That's
so
not the kind of attitude. That is
I
a
will
quitting
attempt,
attitude.
I will attempt a cartwheel.
All right, lock it in. If Josh McClain wins this game, you're going to see the man with a hat do a cartwheel. He's going to sacrifice.
No, I said I'm calling that he's going to win it.
I know.
Okay.
I said okay, so if he doesn't win, do you do a cartwheel?
That's what I thought how the bet was working.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
right,
if he doesn't win, you do a cartwheel.
Yeah, because I can't do one. So,
Okay,
So you
perfect.
basically watch me fall over.
Okay,
It's
great.
terrible.
Can't wait. Book it. And so he's going to sacrifice the Bird of Paradise to go get a Malira. So
Nah,
he's
Josh
working.
has got this.
He's working towards what you mentioned,
Yeah.
which is he's trying to work his way towards the infinite combo. Because think about it, if he has a cord, he like chump blocks with the Noble Hierarch, cords for 1, gets Viscerous here, and then turns Spellskite into Finks, and then
Boom.
that's
done.
it. So,
Win.
do you have some inside
Easy.
information that I don't have?
Easy game.
Did you see his hand? Did you see?
No, I didn't see his hand. I don't know his hand.
Better not have seen his hand. This is gonna be a Horizon
I
Canopy.
think that's a quarter calling in his hand.
All right, so he's gonna sacrifice.
I think he's
this
got a
and draw
cord in his
card.
hand. He's gonna win next turn.
What did he draw? Ooh, Path to Exile. That's gonna make things a little more difficult.
All right, so now he can't block and cord for 1. That was the original plan.
Okay, so yeah, he was gonna block and cord for 1.
That's what he was going to do.
Yeah, that was his plan. Okay.
Oh,
That
dang.
Spellskite was key. That was a great draw off the Horizon Canopy. Yeah, now he just has to let it go. Wow, that was such a huge
That's
draw
huge.
there.
Yeah.
And
I'm
now
gonna
I
have to
think
try to do a cartwheel. That's terrible.
we're
It's gonna
we're
be
on,
embarrassing.
we're on chump block. We're basically on chump blocking duty with this Noble Hierarch, right? I don't think we have much of a choice. Because I think he needs Malira to actually be able to win this game. Because let's say, for example, that he just draws like a card like a Kitchen Finks that can block forever.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, yeah, he can just pot. He could have potted it into Kitchen Finks.
Yeah.
It's actually, yeah, but I mean, he didn't have the extra pot activation that turn.
Yep.
So now he's gonna have to start chump blocking.
There's
Yeah,
Iron
sure. The
Umber.
guy now has first strike, and first strike,
It's going to be
which
a
is
whole
actually
bunch.
true. It
Yep.
has first strike 3 times.
So a bunch of life is going to get gained here for Sundrani.
Sure, he's
yeah.
at a million.
And yeah, obviously McClain doesn't care very much about that. So let's see what he's going to draw this turn.
I mean, he only needs a land.
That's a
to be
voice.
fair.
That's a voice of resurgence.
That'll work.
He doesn't have white mana.
Oh no, he doesn't have white mana.
He doesn't have white mana.
He can cord for voice to block.
Okay. We're going to find all the angles here. All right, he's going to sacrifice this.
So Malira will go ahead and remember that's not his only Malira, or maybe it is his own.
He's going to get a
I
Kitchen
think he
Finks.
only has 1 Malira.
Yep. Just
That's gonna
one.
make it harder to combo with it in the yard. No, he can get it back.
I mean, he has to work his way towards an Eternal Witness. This is not going to be a short process.
He can lark he's gonna work his way toward larking the whole combo. back.
All right.
I think that's what's going on here. He's
All
gonna
right.
lark the whole combo.
Kitchen Finks is on blocking duty this go around.
We're now dead to those cards again. Spirit Mantle and Rancor are killing us now.
Okay.
We got this though. This is far from over. Pod's good at doing this.
Just buying time. Then there's
Yeah.
a Misty Rainforest. Now, that Misty Rainforest might not seem all that important, but with McClain at 3, you can search up a
Can
Dryad
get
Arbor.
Dryad Arbor.
Yep.
But now McClain's at 5 thanks to Kitchen Finks.
Okay.
I don't think. Right. Say if McClain played something like Fleshbag Marauder in his deck, which I don't think he does, then that would be really super relevant.
McClain
But
draws, I believe that's another copy of Kitchen Finks.
That'll be great. That's so many turns.
That's like all of the turns.
That's all of the turns. He's still got to have some sense of urgency here, though, because there are some cards that just kill him on the spot. Rancor just gets him.
There's a Finks. He's going to go up to 7.
He would love to go ahead and get another Spell Sky. I don't think he has one. Yeah, he's just going to have to pod. He's going to have to keep podding. He's going to have to pod his way up to the Revel Arc. Then you can Revel Arc back Malira and Spellskite, and now you're in business.
Yeah, you're getting closer to getting the Viscera Seer and an Infinite Life combo. So McClain looks like he's going to activate Birthing Body. He's going to have to pay 2 to do so, and he's going to sacrifice the new thing. So this one's going to have a counter on it, and now he's going to search up a 4. So what's the 4-mana spell going to be? It's a red cap.
Red cap.
That's going to go upstairs.
Sure. I think that was for lack of a better 4.
I think the important thing there is that it has the opportunity to block and persist. I think that's part of the reason.
Yeah, it's a double blocker.
Yeah.
I mean, how much? I'm not positive how much that helps because he's already, he's still dead to the same things, right?
Yeah, but he may just not have a better 4 to search for.
Sure.
You know? That could be the only 4 that maybe he even has in his deck right now. Is a card like Linvala and Ranger Vios, excuse me. Those don't really do a ton.
What this does is that, so originally we were searching up Infinite Life, right? Now he can chump block with these Kitchen Finks, and instead of searching up Infinite Life, he can search up Infinite Damage.
Sure.
Well, he's gonna have to pod. Never mind. He's gonna have to pod the red cap anyway into the Revel Arc.
Okay. All right, Josh, you got to keep fading some draw steps, but you're doing good so far.
So far, we're fine. Once he gets the Spellskite back, then he's in business. Yeah. Then I think he's got it.
What does Vikas draw?
Because I don't see Vikas getting through a Spellskite once it's down.
He's going to move Dryad Arbor up. Looks like he's going to try to make 2 attackers. Yeah, there's a Spider Umbra.
Spider Umbra on Dryad Arbor. Oh, more.
There's
Hyena.
Okay.
So now it's a reach, first strike, totem armor.
And I stacking up both of his creatures. Now McClain can afford to take he can take a hit.
Take 1 hit. That's 3 damage. That puts him down to 2. It does limit his abilities as far as podding goes.
Yep.
Vikas at some other ridiculously large number. It really doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's all about McClain's survival at this point. So McClain's going to untap those 4 lands. He's going to take a draw. That is Gosali Pride Mage. That one does not do much.
Well, he's going to have to, he pods into Revel Arc, and Revel Arc is the best blocker he could hope for.
Yeah.
So when it blocks, it gets back Malira and Skite.
So red cap, that's going to come and go. So there's a counter. 1 damage is going to come forward. Now he's going to go searching.
It's for the Lark.
You can really tell just the way McClain is playing this game and the path he's taking.
He knew what the path was from a while ago.
Yep.
And he can cord right now for 1.
He's going to go get Viscera Seer.
Oh, he wins now, doesn't he?
Does he win now? Okay, so he goes and gets Seer.
Seer sacks Revel Arc. You get back Malira.
Okay, so he sacrificed this first.
Now it sacrifices Revel Arc, getting back Malira.
Oh my God!
And he gets him.
And he's going to do this infinite times. So that is it, Josh McClain. What an insane win. No cartwheel for you. Defeats Vikas Sundrani 2-1. He's moving on to 7-0 like he's been doing it his entire life.
What I like is, so I had it as far as, okay, we're going to get Revel Arc. I didn't have it so far as we're going to get Revel Arc and win immediately.
Yeah, and you die right now.
Yeah.
What an insane win by Josh McClain.